All right, happy Monday, everybody. I'm back with a Monday market update. Sorry about last week; it was a holiday. So today is September 11th. So I hope you all are, keeping that day kind of in your thoughts, and for all the survivors and all those lost. It's this is an important day in America. So with that said, I'm gonna go and get into it. And I know probably the first thing that everybody's asking is the Fed going to stop raising interest rates, right? So, many Federal Reserve officials recently talked about the possibility of pausing their plan to increase interest rates at their upcoming meeting on September 20th. And here's kind of what's happening. So, on the positive side, New York President John Williams thinks that the Fed's money policies are working well. He thinks they should stay open to change based on new information. He seems to like the idea of taking a break from raising rates this month, which is nice. But thoughts from others. You have the Dallas Fed president, Lori Logan. She said it might be okay to skip a rate hike this month, but she also said might still need to do some more to control inflation. And then the Philadelphia Fed president, Patrick Harker, he also said he just talked about keeping interest rates steady. So kind of some background on this. The Fed has been increasing its main interest rate to slow down the economy and keep inflation in check, right? We all knew about that. They did this 11 times since March last year, and it's now at its highest point in 22 years. And why that matters to us is the Fed's keeping an eye on the job market to decide if the Fed needs to keep raising rates. Even though recent job reports seem good, a closer look shows that job growth is actually slowing down. So the job market worries is that not only has the number of new jobs each month gone down, but they're also changing previous job reports to show fewer new jobs and what they call negative revisions. So, for instance, they initially said 209,000 new jobs were created in June, but now they say it's only 105,000. Plus, the unemployment rate went from 3.4% in April to 3.8% last month. So then you're wondering, is the Fed going to pause? The Fed's thinking about stopping rate hikes because of these signs of a weaker job market. They'll also consider this week's inflation data before making a decision. So we'll find out their choice after their meeting on September 20th. So still a couple weeks away. Now, despite all that, home prices keep going up. Home prices went up 1.5% from June to July, and that's a big jump from the 0.7 increase in June. And it marks the third month in a row where prices reached a new high, according to Black Knight's Home Price Index. So, on the whole, it's strong growth. On an annual basis, home prices rose by 2.3%. Since the start of the year, the pace is at 4.4%. So if this keeps up, it's looking at a 7.5 increase is kind of the rate that we're headed at as far as the home prices and values going up. And it's widespread gain as well. Almost every city in Black Knight's Index saw prices rise. 99 out of 100 cities in Black Knight's Index saw the rise. So the good news for home buyers is the increase in home prices shows that owning a home is a good way to build wealth. And it's honestly, it's a far cry from the housing crash that a lot of people were worried about. And a lot of that ties into proper lending as well. So the holidays have a little bit of effect on unemployment claims. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits fell by 13,000 in the latest week, with 216,000 filing for the first time. Continuing claims also went down by 40,000, so there's still almost 1.7 million still getting benefits after their first claim. And so kind of here's what's going on with it. So the labor market, the drop in initial claims, it looks like a strong job market, but you have to remember the week we're looking at was just before Labor Day weekend, and people actually don't often file claims around the holidays. They tend to put it off. So continuing claims, which lag a week, weren't affected, but the initial most likely were. And from a corporate level, that we've seen some changes. Some big companies, Adidas, Adobe, IBM, Salesforce, they're quietly moving employees to lower paying jobs with lower titles to save money. And this has increased threefold in the past year. And it might explain why unemployment claims are low. So what are we going to look for this week, right? What's coming up? In the coming week, we need to keep an eye on the important economic reports, and there's a handful of them. The Consumer Price Index is coming out on Wednesday. We'll see the Consumer Price Index for August, which tells us about how prices are changing for like regular things that we buy. And then the Producer Price Index will be on Thursday, and that shows us what's happening with wholesale prices, right? And I know we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Now, small business confidence. On Tuesday, we'll hear from the National Federation of Independent Business about how small business owners are feeling. And if you don't know what the National Federation of Independent Business is, it's a nonpartisan nonprofit organization that tries to help sustain and grow the small businesses in the United States. Retail sales and jobless claims. Thursday, we're going to bring us reports on August retail sales and the latest jobless claims. And I know that investors will be watching closely at Tuesday's 10-year note and Wednesday's 30-year bond auctions just to see how much demand there is for these investments. So there's some positive news as far as, some of the Fed presidents showing some approval in not having another rate hike, to be honest. And but again, with the jobless reports and the negative revisions, they have to keep an eye on it as far as the strength of the labor market and how that's going to tie into the, not only the Fed, but obviously, inflation. And I thought the little bit about the larger companies like Adidas, we were saying, and Adobe and those, those aren't the only ones doing that, right? Those aren't the only companies doing that, but they're generally, they're going to be very indicative of what's happening across the workplace at the larger kind of corporate level. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I want to thank Mitchell Cleckley over at Pilgrim Mortgage. He gets this information together for me. So if you're in the Bryan-College Station area and you're looking to, get into a home, or you're looking to refinance, or anything like maybe pull out a HELOC, go get in touch with Mitchell Cleckley over there at Pilgrim Mortgage, and then obviously meet with Bach Realty Group if you're looking to purchase a home, or you want to see what your home's worth, you want to do an equity check. You can always reach out to me. You can go to BachRealtyGroup.com. You can find me. You can find our team. We're happy to be here for really all of your real estate needs. So I hope you all have a wonderful Monday. And again, just keep those lost in your prayers, and not just on 9/11, but everything that followed that. I know I had some buddies that unfortunately didn't make it back, so it's important to kind of make sure that this day is important. So thank y'all so much, and y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday.